Good evening, everybody. How is it going? Welcome back to the channel. Well, before I get into those airline stocks, I just want to touch base on the overall market and just show you that we are getting close to some pretty significant resistance areas. And the first one I want to start off with is the QQQ, which of course is the ETF for the NASDAQ. We can see the NASDAQ is clearly getting up towards this resistance area just above 400 on the chart. You know, we could probably call it 450 all the way up to 401 even. Is a pretty significant resistance area on the QQQ. You can see the QQQ is up almost 3% on the day, so just a massive update for the Qs, having a huge gap up above these two significant moving averages that I keep on my chart. The white is the 8-period exponential moving average, and the purple is the 21-period exponential moving average. And that, of course, is a good thing once you gap over them, because you shouldn't have to worry about them, in the near future unless you have a complete rollover. So that's a bullish sign. But like I said, we're getting close to this resistance area, so I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the QQQ or the NASDAQ has a tough time getting through that, and that is not very far away. If we jump over to the SPDR, which is the S&P 500 ETF, you can see another clear resistance area on the SPDR. Usually when you have these really easy to see ones, you definitely want to pay attention to them, because the more people that see them, the more people are probably going to trade around them. But the S&P 500 is just below that area, which is right around 470 even. So I would expect the S&P 500 to have some resistance at this area. And if we look at the diamonds, which is the Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF, we can see this one is bouncing up significantly, but this one was the one that was stretched the most to the downside, so you would expect a pretty decent bounce from this one. But we have this resistance area right here as well, right just under 360. So you can see all three of these major indices are very close to some significant resistance. So unless we get like a huge gap up like we did today, gapping up over these significant resistance areas, we're probably going to have a tough time getting through this area. And if the market does have a tough time getting through this area, I want to be playing something short or buying puts on something that I think could be the weakest sector. And I do think that is going to be the airlines, at least judging by the charts. And, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. All you can do is make decisions based on what you think could happen. And let me show you why I think the airlines are looking ripe for a fall right now. All right, so let's get into these airline stocks. But before I get started, please remember I am not a financial advisor. All of this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just trying to show you the best looking trades that I see setting up in the market currently, which I may or may not be taking. So please make all of your own trading decisions. But if you do want to know what we are trading, I do have a Patreon group, and that is only $9.99 a month. That link is down there in the description. And if you see something juicy setting up in the market, please leave it for me down there in the comment sections. All of you guys that leave me interesting things that you see setting up in the market down there in the comment section, I really appreciate it. I can't see everything that's going on in the market, so I really appreciate the help. And I've taken those trades before, and I've made money on a few of those before, so I really do appreciate it. And also, if you don't mind liking the smash button, that really helps out the channel with the YouTube algorithm. And one last thing, if you do like seeing the trades that I see setting up in the market, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future trading ideas that I might have. All right. Now that I have gotten that out of the way, let's get into the first one, and it's actually the airlines ETF. It's Jets, J-E-T-S, Jets. And a lot of the airline stocks are setting up just like this one, and this is a really, really nice bearish setup. A little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. We got the left shoulder here, we got the head, and then we got the right shoulder, and we are getting a breakdown through that neckline, and it has bounced and is bouncing up into that resistance area. Now, when a stock is making a pattern like this, more often than not, it will roll over after this first touch into this resistance area. It won't necessarily every single time take out this low, but you usually get at least a little bit of a breakdown, and that's what I'm trying to take advantage of right now. And the reason why you get that breakdown is because everybody who bought up here is a loser right now. So once they see a breakdown in the stock, say they own the stock 23, 24, 25 bucks, And we get a breakdown through the support area. They say, you know what, if this thing gets anywhere close to this support area again, I am getting out. And that's why you usually see that first little bit of a rollover. So if you feel like just taking a short position in the ETF, which I might just do, I mean, this is the way to do it. But some of the other ones that I see that are setting up pretty nicely. The first one is American Airlines. You can see American Airlines, pretty much the same pattern, bouncing up into this resistance area, and could potentially roll over again. And another thing you have to realize with these travel stocks, you know, we got this variant that's in the news right now, and every time these numbers start coming out in the news, that has the potential, every wave of news that comes out, it has the potential to keep knocking these things down. So these things could get really weak if the variant numbers get really crazy. I mean, it might not be, you know, as bad as the other variant, but it could be bad enough, you know, to spook people with these travel stocks. And it looks like the airline stocks are setting up the best. But this is American Airlines stock. This is one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites is Delta Airlines. You can see Delta Airlines is looking very similar as well. So these things, in my mind, are perfect bearish setups, and all they got to do is, you know, break above this resistance area just a little bit, and you know, not roll over, and then you know you're wrong. So the risk is usually pretty small in these trades. Another one is Mesa. Take a look at Mesa. It's coming up into this well-defined resistance area after breaking down. Let me zoom in a little bit closer. You can see this one looks rather similar to some of the other ones. So Mesa is looking ripe for a potential, you know, another wave down as well. Next one is Save, which is Spirit Airlines. Let me back it out a little bit. You can see Spirit Airlines, not as nice a setup as the other ones, but it is bouncing right up into that 50-period simple moving average, and it's clearly in a downtrend. So that one is looking pretty good for a short as well. Another one is United Airlines. We can see United Airlines having that bounce up right into that resistance area as well. So United Airlines is looking pretty good. I mean, it's basically, take your pick on these. There are so many of them that are looking ripe for a potential rollover again. And when you see a whole sector that is looking ripe for a potential rollover, you know, that's better than just one stock in that sector. But next one I want to show you is SKYW, which is SkyWest. I forgot the name of that one for a second, but I knew it was close to what I was thinking. But anyway, you can see SkyWest bouncing up into this resistance area. So SkyWest is also looking ripe for a potential rollover. Another one is Southwest Airlines, ticker symbol LUV. You can see LUV is bouncing up into this resistance area as well. And the last one is Alaska Airlines, ALK. You can see ALK making the pretty much same pattern as well. So you can see these airlines are looking pretty weak at the moment. My favorites are probably American Airline, Delta, DAL, and UAL, but I think all of them are looking ripe for a potential rollover. All right, so now I'm going to get into my trading activity for the day, and there really wasn't much because I'm going on vacation again, so I'm trying to get everything lined up for that, and I ended up missing a good portion of the trading day, but I did end up selling my Marathon Digital Holdings, ticker symbol MARA, that I bought yesterday. I sold just before it got to the 8-period exponential moving average for a gain of about 10% or so, so that was a pretty decent trade, and you know, this looks very similar to what the airlines are doing. You know, you got a breakdown through this resistance area, and then now it's bouncing right back into that resistance area. So that's what I expect a little bit. I'm hoping for a little bit more of a rollover in the airline stocks. You know, you never know how far it's going to end up breaking down. But that was pretty much the only trade I made today. I didn't get a chance to make any of those day trades because I was gone for the beginning portion of the day. But an interesting chart that we have been talking about in the Patreon is Applied Materials, and Applied Materials is probably the best looking stock that I see that's right around a buy point, and if the market can just sure itself up, I'm definitely going to take a position in Applied Materials because this chart is an absolute thing of beauty. You got a very long base, we got to break above that base. a pullback to test it, and now it's jumped right back above that 8-period exponential moving average. If I could look into the future, and if it looked like the market was definitely going to be breaking to a new high in the next couple of weeks or so, I would just grab some of this one, because this is probably going to be one of the leaders coming out of it. It's just a beautiful looking chart, or at least I think it has a great chance of potentially being one of the leading stocks if we do end up getting into rally mode again. So definitely keep Applied Materials on your watch list. Another one that we like in the Patreon group is Taiwan Semiconductor. Not looking as good as AMAT in my opinion, but pretty darn good nonetheless, making a very nice rounded bottom formation. If this thing can have a clear break above 125, I think this one could be a leader if we have another leg up in the market. So definitely keep Applied Materials and Taiwan Semiconductors on your watch list. And when we get, if we break out to a new high, I think these are going to be great stocks to probably own. Okay, everyone, that is all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions or comments on any of these stocks, or if you have any other ones you want me to take a look at, please leave it down there in the comments section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.